Why hasn't that come through, people? Oh, okay, alright, that's okay. It's decided to play games with me. Okay, so you've just seen the We Are Driven intro. We Are Driven team still pushing Bradley Lowry Foundation, still pushing Archie's journey. Get yourselves over to Facebook, click all those like buttons, go join yourself up with We Are Driven, find out what's happening there. And then go on to justgiving.com/campaign/Archie's journey and donate, please, if you can. For some reason, that image there is supposed to be the flyer for tonight, but for some reason it's decided to not come through. So we're going to skip that. Oh no, scores haven't come through either. What on earth is going on tonight? Alright, I'll have to read them out. Merch still available, people. T-shirts and stickers still available. Hit me up at darksmoker@googlemail.com if you fancy any of that, or find me on the Facebook page. Let's get straight into this lobby. Who've we got on track tonight? So yes, I'll have to read scores out to you while we're going through qualifying, unfortunately. Potomac Pot then, Pro Lobby host. We've got Purzel in the house, we've got RAA Bobby, we've got Brinky, we've got V-Show 10, we've got Next Gen Danzo, P1 Obi-Wan, TRG Aldo, RA Dynamic Styles, RAA Philo, Ace Killers, Fat Pickles Bro, we've got RA Gecko Racer 4, NGR Jambu, and G Marge in the house. Absolutely jam-packed lobby tonight, that's good to see. So this is round 2 of the Team Oliver Racing Gr3 League, live from Blue Moon Bay Infield A circuit tonight. We've got 2 lobbies open, we've got the pros and the pro-ams running. We are live with me watching the pros. If you're after the pro-ams, it's over on Down for the Counts channel. I think that's Down for the Counts Sim Racing on YouTube. Rick 2, evening mate, how you doing? So yeah, it's a short little circuit, but makes for some good racing here. 2 races again tonight. It's the sprint race and the feature race tonight. Let me just have a look at that. So 15-minute qualifier, which they've already started. Race 1 is a 19-lap race. They start with 100% of fuel. They can use any tyres for the race they want, and they can use as many as they like. No mandatory pit stop, etc., etc. But we do carry over the success ballast from race 1. So first, second, and third will add on a few extra clicks of weight, and then we jump into race 2, which is reverse grid. It's now a 28-lap race. They start with 70% of fuel. The time of day changes a little bit. And there is now restrictions on the pits, so pit stop window for change of tyres will be open at the end of lap 5. You can go in the pits for damage repairs and things like that, or to take on fuel or to repair, but yeah, no tyres before the end of lap 5 in race 2. 2 different compounds of tyre have to be used as well. Anything, so it's up to you how you start, but it's racing softs and racing mediums are available, so it's up to you how you use those. Damage is on full in these lobbies, so they do have to be a little bit careful. I mean, any damage, serious damage, does mean a trip to the pits to get that repaired, so they do just want to be a little bit careful. Right, so let's get ourselves in this lobby. Like some scores. I don't know why the pictures didn't come through. Just downloaded them. Right, they were showing up anyway. So after round 1 last week at Fuji, TNR Philo is leading the way with 43 points. with 36 points. In second is Gr3. Third place with 30 points is Bobby. We've got Potomac Pot in fourth. He's sitting on 26 points. Just behind him on 24 points is Dynamic Styles. In sixth place we've got Jambu. He is on 22 points. Picklesbro in seventh on 20 points. We've got P1 Obi1 in eighth. He's on 18 points. 16 points for ninth for Brinky. V-Show in 10th with 14 points. And then in 11th we've got G-Marge in 11th with 12 points. 12th place we've got Ace Killer with 10 points. TRG Aldo in 12th with 8 points. 6 points for Danzo in 14th. And Robbie Hood, I don't think he was here last week. 0 points for him. And Purcell no show either last week, so no points on board for him yet. So that scores up until now. Only one round in so far, so still plenty left to go. That's enough airtime for you, Potomac Pot. Gecko Racer then. The Race Asylum boys have come in and stamped their mark quite heavily on the opening few rounds of the various seasons, to be honest. So Gecko Racer, what did Potter have on pole position? 105.7, there you go. Not a very long circuit at all. So Gecko Racer on a 105.8. Purcell is in third with a 106.0. Obi-Wan 106.0, sorry, 0.2. G-Marge is on a 106.2 as well. RAA Bobby 106.2. Brinky just coming in the pits, he's got himself a 106.2 as well. Dynamic Styles just outside of 106.4 for him in 8th. Fat Pickles a 106.4 as well. Jambu just chucking himself back in the pits. Where were we? Dynamic Styles, Fat Pickles Bro 106.4. V-Show on a 106.6. Ace Killer on a 106.8. Aldo on a 106.9. Danzo on a 108.3 for 13th. Got RAA Philo being sneaky again. Watch Philo put a fast lap in. Just burning off fuel at the minute. As you can see, he's in first gear, giving it full revs, going absolutely nowhere. Hazards on, just letting people know he's running slowly. Yeah, we'll see Philo in the Viper right near the end of pit qualifying. Stick a couple of ridiculously hot laps in and get himself probably on pole or somewhere very close. Baz, evening brother. Another close racing coming. Yeah, I think you could be right, my friend. Bobby's got himself out front now. 105.5 as he decides to come in for... Oh, he's got damage. Yeah, so they've got to avoid that damage, really. The last thing you want to do is stick yourself in the wall in turn 1 and have to do a full lap with all that damage. Obviously slows you down on the circuit and takes more time in the pits as well. Gecko Racer also going quicker. 105.5 then. Potomac Pot 105.7. What's he got? Just coming around this final turn. Staying out. Let's go for a lap on board with the Potter. So across the start finish line, just hitting the banked turn before it cuts off onto the infield circuit. Difficult little transition there between the two. Back out onto the main track, and just as the banking disappears, you peel back into the infield circuit. Try and carry as much speed through that left-hander into the right. Try not to run it a bit wide. Potter's done just that. Onto the grass he goes. Through the little kink left, down towards the hairpin right, then hard on the brakes. Trying to catch as much of that apex as possible. Again, just being a little bit careful on the way out, or the tail end gets let loose, as Potter's just demonstrated, into the double apexed final, or penultimate turn, sorry. Back on the power again. Onto this final left-hander, just got to be a little bit careful through here as well. Can cut a lot of apex, but got to be careful of that outside wall. So I don't think it's going to be super quick this lap, but he's on for the next one at least. That's already a 107 there then. Gets to go again though, Potter. So what's that? 11 minutes into qualifying, just 4 minutes remaining. Yeah, so you know him, Baz, you know him very well then. I used to call him Sneaky. He was always Sneaky Philo, right at the end of qualifying. Sneaky Philo. Where is he at the minute? Still burning fuel off. Oh. He's got some softs on. And he's doing some... What's he got? A 110 there. Obviously not as quick as the fastest, but this goes a little bit quicker at 106. He's only got about a quarter of a tank left as well, so his car running really light. Fresh set of tyres on. He's still got opportunity to get in the pits, new set of boots, and get back out and try another lap as well. We'll see whether mine and Baz's prediction is correct. So he's already up to 5th, is Philo. Ace Killer just in front of him. Hopefully doesn't get in his way too much. Only a couple of turns to go. What have you got, Sneaky? Final turn then. Stay out of the wall, Philo. Just... What's it going to be? Where's he gone? Oh, Philo. There you go. In the pits. Look, he's decided to chuck it in now. He's a fresh set of tyres on. And he gets to stomp out a couple of hot ones just before the end of qualifying. He's really good actually, Philo. Obviously I've seen him for a few seasons. He's always been pretty much on point. I'm not sure if he's using his wheel yet. I know he was, majority of the time I've seen him race, he's been on pad, but I believe he's just picked up a new wheel and rig. So I don't know how he's getting on with that, if he is getting on with it. Bobby then, the Maniac, has decided to pick up the Ford GT for this season. Has been a car known to try and kill people. Racer, also fresh set of boots on. He's looking to now go for a hot one right at the end. They will get across the line and get to finish their hot laps. So it's Racer Sideham drivers in 1st and 2nd at the minute. Potter McPot sitting in 3rd. Obi-Wan's got himself up into 4th with a 105.7. Fat Pickles also moving up, 105.9 for him into 5th. Philo 6th at the minute, but we'll keep an eye on Sneaky Philo. Purzel 7th. I can't see his time on the board there. Brinky has got himself 8th at the minute, 106.1. G Marge is in 9th with a 106.2. RA Dynamic Styles 10th, 106.2 as well. V-Show 106.3 for 11th. Jambu 12th. Can't see he's left the lobby and come back, so his hot lap not showing up. Ace Killer 13th, 106.7. Aldo 106.7 as well for 14th. Danzo 15th, 107.7. Right, while we've been chatting, Potter's gone and put in hottest lap so far, 105.1. 1.5 tenths out of Gecko's fastest. He is out on track now for a hot lap. Where is sneaky Philo? Here he is. What's he on? Oh, flipping what? Oof, up into fourth, 105.5. That's his fastest so far. Unfortunately, that's it though. Where are you, Gecko Racer? Potter McPot might have just snuck pole himself here. Let's see what Gecko Racer's got. Can he keep the speed and the around this final turn? He can't do it. Potter holds on to pole position then. Gecko Racer second, Bobby in third, IAA Philo in fourth. Got Obi-Wan fifth, Fat Pickles in sixth. Got Brinky in seventh, Purzel eighth, G-Marge ninth. Got Dynamic Styles 10th, V-Show 11th, Jambu 12th, Ace Killer in 13th, Aldo in 14th, and Danzo in 15th. That is your line. Oh, Danzo actually picking up damage right at the end of qualifying there. Probably into the wall in that final turn. There it is. Tell your mates, tell your mum. Right on the rear number plate of Potter's car. That's what it's all about. So not so sneaky Philo then, Baz. We were predicted wrong there. Sorry, Dino, I can't answer your call right now, mate. I'm live. Here we go then. 18 laps round at Blue Moon Bay. Short circuit, so it will make for some good racing. Right, revs are up. Good start. Bit of wheel spin from Potter, bit of wheel spin from Bobby, but both getting a good drive away. Philo getting a good start, already making his way past Gecko Racer. Into turn one they go. Does everyone make it through here cleanly? Gecko Racer running a bit wide, looking for a way through. Everyone through turn one cleanly into turn 2 and 3. Danzo just at the back of the pack at the minute. So Potter still leading. RAA Bobby holding on to second. Ooh, Gecko Racer chucking himself up the inside there, looking for the position off of Philo. Philo getting a little bit squirrely out of the hairpin. Holds the line into this penultimate turn though. Gecko Racer right on his rear bumper as they head down here though. Closely chased by P1 Obi-Wan. Brinky's right on the back of this fight in the Porsche as well. Great big Mercedes of V-Show. Who's going to gain any kind of positions down here using the slipstream. See if anybody makes a move. Somebody in the background. Is that somebody making a move on Dynamic Styles? No. Nobody making up positions there then. Potter McPotts holding on to top spot for now. Bobby drifted it through turns 2 and 3. Holds on to the position into 4. Being pushed by TNR Philo though down towards the hairpin. Potter McPotts made a little bit of a break. He's got himself half a second. I think he's done well here at the last few times we've raced. Pulls another 10th over Bob. He's looking to try and break the toe from these drivers behind. Keep Bob as that bottleneck if he can. Into this final turn. Keeps it out the wall as well. Potter McPot then gets 0.6 of a second. Is that going to be enough? Bobby will still be getting a bit of a toe. He'll be dragging everyone else with him. I don't think it's going to be enough to get anywhere near Potter before they hit this first turn. Philo goes for a bit of a look on Bob. Backs off though. Bobby has to slam his brakes on. Both drivers running a little bit wide there. Potter still holds on to his 0.4 of a second lead at the minute. So Potter first, Bobby second, Philo third, Gecko Racer in fourth. Still got Obi-Wan for company. Brinky as well, just behind him. There's a little bit of a gap back to 7th for Fat Pickles Bro, about a second there. He's still got V-Show for company. He's got Jambu and Dynamic Styles as well, looking for a way past. Another tiny bit of a gap back to Purzel in 11th. G Marge in 12th now. Oh, Ace Killer running a little bit wide there. TRG Aldo in 13th, and Ace Killer. Oh, Ace Killer just clattering into the wall a little bit. Lucky to pick up no damage there. Unfortunately, Danzo now 4.4 seconds off the pace. Back up front with Potter then. That gap been reduced into turn 1 again, but he holds the lead still. Top 4 then starting to pull a little bit of a gap. There they are on board with Gecko Racer then, looking forward at Philo, Bobby and Potter for 3rd, 2nd and 1st. Is anybody going to be able to use the slipstream down this start-finish straight? Potter McPot has had that gap reduced between himself and Bob. He's going to put Bob in a good position to make a move. Philo as well, already looking around the inside of Bobby. He's got a good exit out of that final turn, switches to the outside. Bobby looks for the toe. Unfortunately, he's lost it. Philo's now picked it up. Will it benefit him? Ford versus Viper here. Who's going to win out into turn 1? BMW closing up as well. Oh, tiny bit of contact as they go through that transition. Philo just holds on to it, but that's given Gecko Racer a bit of a look down the inside. Oh, apologies, people. My camera work. So Philo comes across the nose of Gecko Racer there, nearly taking him out, nearly taking the pair of them out. Gecko Racer got to try and close that gap back up now. A little bit of infighting has caused another tiny gap to develop between Bob in 2nd and Potter in 1st. The gap up to 1.1 seconds. If he can maintain that down this next turn, pretty much broken the toe from the pile of drivers behind. It's a little bit slower, 0.8 of a second. I think Bobby's slowly catching him. Yeah, drops down to 0.7, but it will give him still a couple of tenths as he hits turn 1. Keeps the gap at 0.7 then. That little swerve across the track to try and drop the toe has worked. You can see Philo and Bob looking for a way past each other again. So Potter, 0.8 of a second currently. Needs to make a tenth or two up again through this middle part of the lap to try and break that toe from those 3 behind. Tyre's not looking too bad on lap 6 of... Oh, it's a 19 lap race, sorry, I thought it was 18. Still nothing in it between these 4 really. Potter's not been able to completely disappear just yet. Gap still at 0.8. Fastest sectors from Potter as well. He's going to put in a fastest lap of the race here. Holds it out of the barrier. Keeps the gap at 0.8 as he comes around this final turn. Again, chucks himself over to a different side of the track to drop the toe. Gets himself back onto the racing line now. Philo then definitely go for a move up the inside this time. And we catch it through to 2nd then for Philo. He's now got the chance to chase down Potter for that 1st place. We'll see how the BMW fares against the Viper now. Already closing up on Potter by the looks of it. Starting to pull a little bit of a gap from Bobby now in 3rd. Sideways out of the hairpin for Potter. He's going to lose a tiny bit of time to Philo behind. Keeps the gap at 0.7 though, Potter. Purple sectors from Philo this time though. Oh, just a little clip of the wall. That's enough to allow Potter just to extend a little bit. He drops himself over to this left-hand side of the circuit again. just to drop that toe from those drivers behind. Keeps the gap at 0.8 again as he comes into turn 1. Philo then into second. Bob not close enough to take that position back in turn 1. Gr3 just hanging on to the back of these 3 and 4th at the minute. Is he just saving himself for the latter parts of the race, or is he actually struggling to get past? Again, purple sectors from a lot of these drivers. Cars getting a little bit lighter. Oh, Philo sticking a wheel on the grass. Loses a bit more time to pot up. Puts himself back under threat from Bob and Gecko. Obi-Wan then holding 5th. Currently 2.9 seconds back from the top 4. He's got Brinky just 1.2 seconds back. Fat Pickles another 1 second back. Jambu another second back. Visho half a second back. The Dynamic Styles almost pushing Visho around then. He's sitting in 10th, just 0.3 back. G-Marge just 1.7 back as well in 11th. 1.5 back for, sorry, 1.2 back for Aldo. Oh no, sorry, 1.5 back for Aldo, and then 1.2 back to Ace Killer. Then there's a 23 second gap back to Purzel in 14th. Not sure if Purzel picked up damage somewhere. Had to come in the pits. Danzo looks like he might be sitting out race 1. No fuel, no tyres, no repairs going on there. So he was falling back a little bit. Back up to the front. Potter still leading then. He's got himself a second just as he comes onto these last couple of turns. That tiny mistake from Philo has cost him. Oh, he's gone a bit hot into the penultimate turn as well. That's going to give Bobby a look down into this next turn. No, it doesn't. Bobby backs off. Again, just got to be careful they don't take each other out. Potter then now with a 1.2 second lead, well out of the slipstream range of these drivers behind. Can he continue to pull that gap? Can Philo now defend from Bobby, who's all over him? Maybe a little bit of bump drafting help going on there. Potter and Bobby and Philo. Gr3 now looking up the inside of Bob. Will he hold it? No. Backs off. Allows Bob to keep it. Keeps it off the grass there. There's Potter just up front now. 1.3 seconds in front. Closes up under the concertina effect into the corners. He is slowly stretching out Potter. I've just seen that jump up to 1.4. Heavy old Viper possibly struggling to get around that final turn as quick as Potter. Gap now up to 1 point. I did see 1.5, I think. He's sitting at 1.3 at the minute. So lap 10 of 19. Potter leading 1.3 seconds over Philo in second. Now, big gap developed between himself and Bobby in third. That's 2 seconds down to third place now. Still being harassed by Gr3. I do see Gr3 go for a move at the inside again. This time, no. Backs off, allows Bobby to keep hold of third. Obi-Wan 5th. Losing a bit more time, actually 2.5 seconds down. Oh, dips a wheel on the grass. Obi-Wan keeps it in a straight line. Brinky closes that gap up though. In 6th then in the Porsche, just what is he, 0.8 of a second back, 0.7 now. He's got Fat Pickles just a second behind him as well. Jambu another 3 seconds back in 8th. G-Marge in 9th, another second down. Again, another second down to Visho. Another second down to Dynamic Styles. 1.2 down to Aldo. Another 1.7 back to Ace Killer. Purzel, unfortunately, still 26 seconds down. And Danzo definitely seeing out the end of race 1 in the pits. Potter McPot then continues to hold this lead. 1.2 seconds. Just dropped a little bit. Philo's closed that gap down by almost a full 10th. Good exit out of the hairpin again, Potter. Through that final turn. Philo just in the background. So the gap dropped to a second then. Philo is definitely closing that gap back up. Potter not having a good last few corners there. Allowed Philo to close right up on him. Gecko Racer has now made the move on Bobby. He's got himself up into third. Bobby now fourth. Gecko's Racer's tyres looking a little bit better than Bobby's. That's probably helped him a little bit. Philo's tyres looking very similar to Potter's as well. Not a lot of difference in those. That gap come right down now still. Still at a second, it does look closer. Yeah, pulled big time over third place now. Gecko Racer 2.1 seconds down. Can he close the gap back up? Make any more steps up that podium? Lap 13, just about to come around to start lap 14 of 19. Potter maintains that gap, 0.9 of a second between himself and Philo. It's going to be whoever's tyres hold out. Whoever can not make a mistake out of these two, I think. Very, very consistent, these two. Watched them for a few seasons. Gecko Racer's reasonably new to my viewing eyes, but fast nonetheless. Bobby as well, matured a lot since I've watched him start racing. Brinky's new to me, but he has made the move on. He's made the move on P1 Obi-Wan. Maybe a little mistake by Obi-Wan then. So he's moved from 5th to 7th. That's allowed Fat Pickles and Brinky to come past. Brinky's actually under pressure now from Fat Pickles as well. So possibly had to slow down a little bit to avoid any contact with Obi-Wan. And that's just brought Fat Pickles right into his rearview mirror now. Can Obi-Wan get any kind of move back done on these two before the end of this race? Lap 15 of 19 now. Jambu then into 8th position, G-Marge 9th, V-Show 10th. Aldo 11th, Dynamic Styles now down in 12th. He's picked up front end damage somewhere. Purzel 13th, Ace Killer has been in the pits, fresh set of tyres for him. 14 seconds down from Purzel though. Don't think Ace Killer's going to be able to close that gap up before the end of this race. Does put him in a good position for race 2. Also Potter. He extends again. Pulls that gap back up to 1.2. Drops TNR Philo by a little bit. Gecko Racer is closing that gap up as well. That's only down to 1.6. He could pile some pressure on Philo at the end of this race. Bobby is now being dropped in 4th, unfortunately. A lot of tyre wear on that big heavy Ford. Just struggling to get that beast to go around the corners, I bet. Wow, sideways through there for Bob. Brinky though, holding his own at the minute in 5th. Again, he's got Fat Pickles all over him looking for that position. This infighting is going to allow P1 Obi-Wan to close the gap back up. Tyres looking a little worse for wear on Obi-Wan's car compared to these two in front though. Oh, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? That is Bob. That is Bob. Oh, almost causing chaos in the mid-pack. Drivers having to take avoiding action all over the place to not clear themselves or Bobby up. Bobby dropped all the way down to 9th then. That tyre wear affecting him massively for Bob. He's under pressure from V-Show. He's under pressure from G-Marge as well. Jambu drops out to try and drop the toe from these two. Bobby's looking to do anything he can to make positions up before the end of the race. So lap 17 of 19, Potter McPot now 1.7 second lead over Philo. Philo definitely under loads of pressure from Gecko Racer now. Viper struggling to get around these turns as well a little bit. Oh, and the BMW. Just getting a little bit loose on the tail. I imagine Potter's in a very similar situation as well. So can Gecko Racer get it done? We're on lap 18 now of 19. Closes up again right at the end of this start-finish straight. Not enough to go for the move into turn 1 though. But closes up through there. Philo gets a good drive out though towards turn 2. Nice tight line there for Gecko. Can he carry the speed round through turn 3? Get the move done down into the hairpin. No. Viper's just carrying a little bit too much speed. He goes defensive as well. Not giving up the position easily, Philo. Back over to the racing line. So just coming through to start this final lap then. Potter McPot 1.4 seconds up the road. Everybody running out of fuel, everybody running out of tyres as well. Gecko Racer right on the rear end, now goes for a move up the inside into turn 1. Can it carry the speed? The Viper looks like it's got it. And it has just. Is there anything Gecko Racer can do before the end of this race? He's got another opportunity really down into the hairpin. And then it's a straight out drag race down the start finish straight to see who's got this one. Potter McPot comfortably in first now, as Philo's going to be looking all in his rearview mirrors and going defensive from Gecko Racer's attacks. Slamming on the brakes, you can hear the tyres straining under braking. Again, not able to get a move done yet. Needs to hold it as close as he possibly can through this final turn. Use this slipstream. Try and get up the inside here. Can he carry the speed? Viper is quick in a straight line, so it is an absolute drag race for second position. Then Potter's easily going to take first. Looks like Philo's going to take second. He does. Gecko Racer takes third. Brinky comes home for fourth after Bob's terrible last couple of laps. Obi-Wan retakes 5th position. Jambu takes 6th. What has happened to Fat Pickles, bro? V-Show 7th. Aldo in 8th. G-Marge in 9th. Dynamic Styles 10th. Bobby in 11th. Fat Pickles, what happened? Oh, damage. Oh, all the way down in 12th for Fat Pickles. So Bobby 11th. Fat Pickles in 12th. Purcell is going to come home in 13th. Ace Killer, the fresh tyres not helping him, still 14 seconds down. He's going to take that 14th position, and Danzo is going to take 15th after finishing in the pits. Alright, we're going to have to wait a few seconds then while wait for the timer to tick down. Danzo's still on lap 7 according to that graphic there. Yes, Potter taking the win, not comfortably like he'd like. I mean, it's still 1.4 seconds, but he was under a bit of pressure from those boys behind. Especially once Philo was let loose, it did pile a bit more pressure on Potter. He managed to hold his own. Keep himself, oh, it was 1.6 by the end, okay. Philo took second, then Gecko Racer third. So a little bit of a break, and then we jump into race 2. Different format slightly. It's a 28-lap race. Tyre wear stays the same, but 2 different compounds of tyre have to be used. That's the softs and the mediums. You can't enter the pits for any kind of tyre change before the end of lap 5. They do only start with 70 litres of fuel as well, 70% of fuel. Oh, Danzo's left. I wonder if we see him come back for race 2. Viper is slower on the twisties. Yeah, maybe. Did seem to hold its own on the straights against the Beamer. I've got to give him that. Smoker! Good evening, everyone, from G Marge. Should hope you all say good evening back. Evening, Mr. Marge. How are you, mate? Will we see Mr. Danzo back for race 2? Looks like Fat Pickles and Brinky had a good race. Don't forget to, I've got to say it, peeps, don't forget to smash that like button. Smash that like button. Rightio, 10-minute break given then. Next race going to kick off about 25 past. Which gives me a chance to go into a bit of an ad break. Another advert, but only for my stuff. T-shirts and stickers. Still available, peeps. Wasted a whole minute there, people. A whole minute. More good points on the board for Philo, more good points on the board for Potter as well. We'll have to see how they get on in race 2, reverse grid as well. Top 3 carry over what is called a success ballast from race 1 as well. So I think third place takes 3 extra clicks of weight, second place takes 4 extra clicks of weight, and first place takes 5 extra clicks of weight, I believe. And starting from the back of the pack does make it a little bit more interesting for race 2. Slightly longer as well, 28 laps. A little bit more strategy involved in this one. So a few different sim racing groups in this lobby, to be honest. We've got the RA drivers, the Race Asylum drivers. If you're wondering what the RAA signifies, the RA drivers are full Race Asylum drivers, and the RAA drivers are the Academy drivers. the learners, basically. Not learners, because you've got Bobby and Philo in the damn academy. I think it's just a, you know, let's stick them in the academy, make sure they're not a bunch of idiots before we allow them into race 4 race asylum, if you like. And if you prove your worth within the academy, I suppose you get pushed up to full race asylum driver status, if you like. We've got Tanto Racing Group drivers in here as well with Aldo. We've got P1 drivers with Obi-Wan. We've got Potter McPot and Fat Pickles Bro, etc., who race for MRC. We've got Next Gen Jambu and NGR Jambu who for Next Gen, as does Perzel. V shows more MRC, but yeah, a few different sim racing groups in this one. It initially started off as a inter-group race and then just became a general Gr3 league. Come and join up if you want. Again, 2 lobbies running tonight. We've got the pros and the pro-ams running. You're watching the pros with me, Dark Smoker, and we've got the pro-ams over on Down for the Count sim racing channel on YouTube. Still got hours of waffling left before the race starts. Waffle, waffle, waffle. All the new subscribers, you got to go and tell your mates and tell your mums as well. Let's see if we can get me up to 600 in the next couple of weeks. Come on. The more mums, the better. Few drivers still out on track then, trying to get those last little sneaky practice laps in. Try and nail those corners they couldn't quite get right in race 1. Figure out how the car's going to feel maybe on a set of mediums. Slightly less weight from the start as well, so it will affect how the cars feel. Still a few minutes till race 2 then, peeps. Starting at about 25 past, I think. Yeah, decent little circuit is Blue Moon Bay. Potter McPot still out trying to get those sneaky laps in, even though he won race 1. He's got to get used to the extra weight as well, hasn't he? That's why he's out on track. He sticks himself back in the pits. Lexus 4 Fat Pickles Bro. Yeah, getting tangled up in some kind of incident right at the end of that race, picking up damage, unfortunately. Who's my money on for this one? I'm not going to put it past Dynamic Styles because I know he's quick and he's starting from the mid-pack. He could be on for one, but I still think Philo Potter and Gecko Racer are going to pile the pressure on. Bob as well, as you know, he's just outside the top 3, no extra weight. It's going to be a tough one, this one. They're my 4 predictions, really. Any of the Race Asylum drivers and Potter. although Obi-Wan, if he gets a good start, manages to make a break for it. He's had a couple of good results. Yeah, tricky one to call this one, mate. Again, strategy's going to play a big part of it. Who's carrying extra weight, who's not. Who can hold on to the tyres the longest. So if you're any kind of follower of this series, you'll know that Jambu and Purcell, where is he? Both run the same cars every season. It's a father and son team. Get a different view here. And both cars cover the carry the Berghardt photography artwork, which I think is their family business. I think is it your wife's family business, Dad? Or your mum's family business, son? Yeah, could be this man. Could be this man. Could be this man. Could be this man. I think Potter's in the pits. Oh no, he's not. He's out on track. Oh no, he's not. He's in the pits. Or it could be this man. Calling 5 drivers for this one. So am I right in thinking that the Race Asylum boys, you've got some kind of super VR sim setup where you can go and, you know, challenge your mates or challenge you lot or whatever it is? Mr. Bobby was showing us photos. Livery's looking good tonight as well. Plenty of time been spent on the BMW Gecko Racer, that's for sure. Fat Pickle's actually going the wrong way around the circuit at the minute. Oops. That's damage for you. Right, race pretty much about to start, I think. So yes, 28 laps round here. Lobby just being reset. Bob, you're never ready. So, what's tyre wear and fuel depletion? Tyre wear is times 5, fuel depletion times 3. Yeah, there you go. Potter almost starting the race with the wrong settings in there. Big old Mercedes Avisho. Has been a popular car in previous seasons. So we just wait for race 2 to get underway. Potter just rechecking his settings, his lobby settings, before he actually fires the race up. Oh, G-Marge going for a drift through the penultimate turn there. Fat Pickles testing out the drift capabilities of the Lexus as well. Here we go then, race 2 just about to start. See some shuffling down the start-finish straight, I think. So with Danzo leaving the lobby, that puts Ace Killer on pole position. He's going to be under threat from Purzel and Fat Picklesbro down into turn 1, possibly some of the other drivers as well. Bobby getting it all. Oh yeah, Bobby, yes, Bobby having a terrible end of the race. He's now starts quite near the front of the pack. Starts at 4th position, so yeah, it could be on for Bob here. It's not a bad start by Ace Killer. He's under a bit of pressure from Purzel though as they head down towards turn 1. Everyone away from the line. Purzel firing himself around the outside. He's kept it out of the wall as well. He's got himself up into 1st. Bobby also run around the outside of Ace Killer. Ace Killer down into 3rd then. Fat Pickles trying to get up the inside. Ace Killer holding his own though. Fat Pickles in 4th then. Aldo in 5th. Visho in 6th. Jambu 7th. Dynamic Styles. Where did you go? P1 Obi-Wan in 8th. Dynamic Styles pushed down to 9th now then. Gecko Racer in 10th. He's managed to move and hold his own into lap 1. G-Marge down in 11th. Potter McPot 12th. Brinky in 13th. And Philo in 14th. Quite a way back as well. So it's looking good for Bob here then. Looking fast in race 1. He's piling the pressure on Purzel here. Looking for P1 as they head into turn 1. Gets himself up the inside. And now can Bob make a break? Has the Porsche got anything for him? Can Ace Killer pull this position back? It's all over the back of Purzel here as they head into turn 3. Tucked up under that rear wing. Pulling Fat Picklesbro along with him. It's a bit of a gap back then to 5th place. 2.5 seconds. Aldo also in the Mercedes. Gecko Racer moving through the field. Already up to 7th. Dynamic Styles teammate right behind him in 8th. Carving his way through the pack quite cleanly then Gecko Racer early on. Oh, only just coming around to end lap 2, so he's made up a few positions. Dynamic Styles then in 8th. Visho 10th. Visho in 9th. G-Marge in 10th. Jambu 11th, Potter McPot still 12th. Right on the back end of Jambu though, looks for the move up the inside at turn 1. Side by side with Jambu through there, gets himself in front. Moves up a position then Potter. Jambu then at 12th. Brinky 13th. Philo still off the pace a little bit, 14th. 2.1 seconds down for Philo. Maybe just biding his time. Bob then already pulled out 1.2 second lead. Ace Killer has made a position back up into 2nd. A little mistake from Purzel set in then. That's allowed Fat Pickles to come through into 3rd. Purzel now 4th. So has Ace Killer got anything for Bobby? 1.3 seconds the gap already. Slipstream won't be taking effect now. Yeah, if I'd have known Bob was in 4th on the grid and not 4th from the back on the grid, Chris B, I'd have picked Bob all the way. The only thing he's got to worry about is when the tyre wear starts kicking in that Ford, it has a tendency to want to try and put you in a wall. So that gap reduced down to 0.8 of a second. Ace Killer back in the slipstream range then. He managed to pull himself 1 second over Fat Pickles Bro as well. Ace Killer doing a bit of karting this weekend, so maybe that paying off for him. He was racing with the MRC boys on Saturday, taking second place, I believe, and into the wall though for Ace Killer. And then he actually raced his own race on Sunday in the 2-stroke, so yeah, not doing too bad. Second place at the minute. Didn't have the greatest first race, but not doing too bad at the minute. Still a second between himself and Bobby. Fat Pickles Bro coming back under pressure from Purcell for that third though. Not close enough into turn 1. So Obi-Wan holding 5th. This is where we saw him last time, holding his own in 5th. But there, just in the background, Gr3 already through to 6th position, just getting himself past Aldo there. Slowly but surely making his way through the field then, Gecko. Unfortunately, he's 6.5 seconds off of race leader at the minute. So Aldo 7th, Dynamic Styles in 8th, V-Show in 9th, Potter McPot then made up a couple of positions as well. He's up into 10th. He's managed to get past G-Marge and Brinky, so Brinky in 11th, G-Marge in 12th. Philo's also made a position up into 13th. Jambu now 14th. Bobby then still only a second lead over Ace Killer. They've now got 1.4 seconds over Fat Pickles Bro. So just starting to stretch out then the top two. Third and fourth look like they're on for a good battle. Again, a little bit of a gap back to Obi-Wan in 5th, 2.2 seconds down. Gr3 closing up on him, 1.3 seconds the gap. I think this is where it's the one to watch really, Gr3, see if he can get that gap closed up on Bob. I think Potter McPot's just chucked one up the inside of somebody. Oh, he has. The inside of V-Show, I think, gets himself up into 9th. So we're looking to get himself up the field as early as possible as well with Potter McPot, carrying the most weight over from race 1. Everybody diving in behind the car in front to try and gain as much of a tow as possible. V-Show looks like he might make a move back on Potter here. He's got the inside line into turn 1. Can Potter carry the speed around the outside? Side by side through there, but I think V-Show's going to hold the line into the next turn. Or is he? Can Potter get his nose in front? He does. Just hold on to that 9th for now. Back up front then, Bobby. Gap down to 0.9 of a second. Sorry, 0.7 of a second. A little bit drifty out of that final turn as well for Bob. Ace Killer hanging in there. Gap come down a little bit, 1.1 seconds down to a second then between second and third. Still dragging Purcell along in 4th as well. To start lap 8 then. Obi-Wan holding his own in 5th. Still Gr3 just 1.2 seconds back. A little bit of a gap back to Dynamic Styles now, 1.7 seconds. Aldo in 8th, Potter in 9th. He's pulled a gap from those drivers behind as well, closed the gap up on Aldo in front. This will be hurting his tyres, carrying that extra weight and driving as hard as he is. So V-Show in 10th, Brinky in 11th, Philo in 12th, G-Marge now in 13th. These four having a real ding-dong. Jambu, unfortunately, 29 seconds down. So possibly picking up damage. Maybe Jambu had to chuck himself in the pits. That's a big old gap. Oh, mistake from Ace Killer. Bobby then now 1.5 seconds up the road. Ace Killer put himself back under pressure from Purzel and Fat Pickles. Might see Ace Killer lose this position here. Goes defensive. He's going to make Fat Pickles run around the outside if he wants it. Holds on to it, goes a little bit deep. Fat Pickles is able to sneak back up the inside here. Take that position off of Ace Killer into second though. Ace Killer holds on to third. Oh, Purzel went a bit hot into turn 3. Stuck a wheel on the grass, managed to control it. He's lost a bit of time though. Ace Killer looking to get that position back off of Fat Pickles. Goes a bit heavy into the hairpin. Soft's looking a bit beaten up on that car as well. Been driven hard as third place man, Ace Killer. So just 0.7 of a second back from second place Fat Pickles. He's out of danger at the minute from Purzel, 1.2 seconds back. Closes the gap back up on Fat Pickles down this start finish straight into that toe. Go too deep this time, gets back on the power. Lost a bit of time to Fat Pickles though. Keeps that time over Purzel. Obi-Wan still holding 5th position. He's managed to keep the gap between himself and Gr3 as well. That's still at, it's just dropped down to a second. It's kept him at bay for a couple of laps at least. 7th place then Dynamic Styles has moved up a position. Aldo's made a mistake. Potter McPot's got through there as well. He's up into 8th right on the back end of Dynamic Styles. How far back? Not far at all really. 0.8 of a second. So also making moves through the field here, Potter. Not quite as quick as Gr3. Okay, Bobby's chucked himself in the pits. He's getting rid of those tyres, putting on a fresh set. Potter McPot trying to close the gap up on Dynamic Styles. Closes down a little bit. Again, he's carrying the most weight into race 2. Dynamic Styles a bit drifty through there. It's allowed Potter to catch up. Potter might be able to make a bit of a challenge down here into the hairpin. Not quite accelerating enough. He thinks about it. Backs off. It's put Dynamic Styles under enough pressure that he's gone a little bit wide through there. That puts Potter McPot back in contention. Just got to control it around these last couple of turns. Try and get a good drive out of this final turn to get the move done on Dynamic Styles down this start finish straight. It's only 0.3 of a second back. Oh, both drivers clipping the wall there though. Can he use the slipstream even with that extra weight? No, he's decided to pit anyway as Potter. So where is everybody now? Fat Pickles bro out front. Ace Killer in second. Obi-Wan third. Oh, he's got himself past Purzel. Purzel's made a mistake. He's managed to squeeze himself in between P1, Obi-Wan and Gr3 here. So everybody making up a position as Bob's come in the pits. Gr3 into 5th then. Dynamic Styles 6th, Aldo 7th. Brinky in 8th, V-Show 9th, G Marge in 10th. Bobby back out the pits in 11th, fresh set of softs on. Purple sectors he's putting in as well. Potter McPot back out the pits in 12th, fresh set of tyres. What's he gone for? He's back on the softs as well. So Jambu out on a set of softs in 13th. And Philo's been in the pits as well. Fresh set of softs on board for him in 14th. Fat Pickles not pit yet. Ace Killer not pit yet. P1 Obi-Wan closing up. Gr3 looking for a move down the inside of Purzel. Gets it. Purzel gives him plenty of room. through to fourth then for Gecko. Although Purzel trying to get back at him. So Bobby's still got to wait for everyone else to pit before he kind of knows where he's going to end up. I'm sure he'll end up out front. So Dynamic Styles holding 6th. Brinky 7th. Aldo 8th. V-Show 9th. G-Marge in 10th. Bobby in 11th. First of the pit stops. Potter in 12th. Second of the pit stops. Jumbo in 13th. And Philo in 14th. Third of the pit stops. Fat Pickle's not stopping again this time. Ace Killer comes in this lap. Anybody else? Someone else coming in here. Dynamic Styles is in this lap as well. As is V-Show. As is... who else was that? G-Marge has come in. Fat Pickles looks quite happy on those mediums at the minute. He's got 2.8 second lead over second place Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's got a second between himself and Gecko Racer. Again, these three haven't stopped, nor has Purzel yet. He's holding 4th position. Brinky not stopped in 5th. Aldo not stopped in 6th. And there is Bobby in 7th. 21.4 seconds down from race leader. Is he going to stop this time, Fat Pickles? Yes, he is. Slings himself across the track. Into the pits he comes. P1 Obi-Wan does the same thing. Gecko Racer also comes in, as does Purzel. Aldo stops out. Brinky stops out. Who else comes through? Here comes Bobby then through to take 3rd place for now. Where will these other boys come out in relation to Potomac Pot and Ace Killer? Ace Killer coming through here in 4th. 5th now. Fat Pickles has just got out in front of him. P1 Obi-Wan and Gecko Racer. Oh no, holds his own up into 5th then. P1 Obi-Wan and Gecko Racer not carrying enough speed out of that pit lane to hold those positions. So Ace Killer into 5th. Obi-Wan 6th. Gecko Racer 7th. Potomac Pot in 8th. Purzel 9th. Dynamic Styles 10th. Philo in 11th. Purzel 12th. G-Marge 13th. And V-Show now 14th. So Brinky yet to stop. He's not stopped this lap either. Still got plenty of fuel on for another lap, as has Aldo. There's only 10 seconds between them and Bobby though, who will retake race lead. There's a big old gap back to 4th place. It's 8 seconds back to Fat Pickles. Another 3.9 seconds back to 5th Ace Killer, but Obi-Wan's looking for the move on Ace Killer. Drops another position then Ace Killer down into 6th position. He's under pressure from Gecko Racer as well. Looking at the inside then Gecko. Ace Killer's got the Ace Killer's got the toe from P1 Obi-Wan. Cuts right across the nose of Gecko Racer there. A little bit squirrely out of that turn 4, so Gecko Racer now looking to make a move down into the hairpin. Up the inside he goes. Can Ace Killer hold the line into the next turn? I think he's got it. Has he? Has he got it? Still side by side these two. Oh, Gecko Racer just carries the speed through. Fortunately Ace Killer loses another position then down to 7th. So Brinky and Aldo in the pits. These two are going to lose a few positions. A lot of cars coming through now. Potomac Potts closing up on Ace Killer as well now for 8th. Philo also closed himself back up on the fight here, up into 7th. Dynamic Styles 8th. Purzel in 9th. Brinky 10th after his stop. Aldo 11th after his stop. Gets himself out just in front of G-Marge and Jambu there. And then V-Show, unfortunately, now 4.3 seconds down in 14th. Bob then, nearly 9-second lead as he tests out the drift capabilities of the Ford. Lap 17, just about to start lap 18 of 28. Fat Pickles comfortably in second at the minute. He's got 3 seconds between himself and third place Obi-Wan. Gecko Racer still 1.2 seconds behind Obi-Wan. Not able to close that gap up quite yet. Potter McPotter's got himself through to third. He's only a second back from Gecko. So Gecko might just have to be a little bit careful here. So there is Ace Killer. Under pressure now from TNR Philo, who's got himself up the inside. Oh no, he's backed off. It's allowed Ace Killer to hold on to it. Philo's got to get a good run down towards the hairpin to try and make the move on Ace Killer here. There it is, swings himself over to the right hand side of the track. Oh, Ace Killer carries a fair bit of speed through there though. But I think Philo's carried a bit more. Oof, tiny bit of contact. No drama though. Philo manages to get through. I think Ace Killer ran a bit slow through there. Dynamic Styles might be looking for a move, especially as they come out of this last turn. Don't think you're going to survive this one, Ace Killer. Dynamic Styles far too close. Side by side already. Loses another position then, Ace Killer down to 8th. He's got Aldo and Purcell pretty close as well. And G-Marge and Brinky as well. Who else we got? Jambu tucked onto the back end of that fight. Big gaggle of cars at the back then, all vying for position 2. Unfortunately, V-Show 3.4 seconds off the back of that pile. Bobby then still holding 8.2 seconds lead. Fat Pickles holding his second. Gecko Racer has closed up on Obi-Wan a little bit here. That gap at just a second between third and fourth. Potter McPot just 2.1 back as well. Was a little bit closer, I think. Obi-Wan chucking himself over to the left-hand side of the circuit, not giving Gecko Racer any kind of opportunity for slipstream. Still holding his own then, Obi. Gap comes down by a couple of tenths, down to 0.7. Not quite close enough to make an attack yet for Gecko Racer. Got to hand it to Fat Pickles as well though, he's holding his own in second. He's losing a little bit of time. Oh, he's not, he's still got 3 seconds between himself and Obi-Wan. He's actually gaining a bit of time on Bobby. Bobby's tyres looking very beaten up here. Still got 7 laps to do as well. Fat Pickles. If he can control this race at this pace, he might be able to close that gap up. We'll see how he gets on. Just got to be careful he doesn't lose it to these two. Obi-Wan then still holding third. Still 0.8 of a second between himself and Gecko. Potter McPot then 3.1 seconds down now. He is coming under increased pressure from Philo. Philo's picked himself up a little bit of a penalty. He's got to lose that. Dynamic Styles looks like he's closing up on these two a little bit as well. So coming into the latter stages of the race, then the tyre wear, the fuel depletion starting to pay dividends. Aldo holding 8th at the minute. Ace Killer down in 9th. Brinky just under a second back in 10th. Jambu's a little way back now, 2.6 seconds. So he's got Visho and G Marge for company. Unfortunately, Purzel now been dropped off that fight. Purzel's got front end damage. That's slowing him down then. Not sure where you picked that up, but yeah, that won't be doing you any favours. So yeah, that gap coming down ever so slowly. 7.5 seconds between first and second. Just losing a little bit of time to Obi-Wan. 2.7 seconds the gap between second and third. But only 6 laps remaining. It might be on here for Fat Pickles. Obi-Wan though under all sorts of pressure from Gr3 now. In fact, let's get ourselves on with Obi-Wan looking back. Big shout out to the boys at Team Oliver Racing as well, putting the name onto this. Stuart and Michael over there. Oh. Gr3, that BMW not able to put the pressure on. What are you in? Oh, the Hyundai. Okay. Not quite able to pile the pressure on in that BMW onto the Hyundai as much as I would have expected. So the gap down at 0.4 of a second. It was about 3/4 of a second when they were at the end of the start-finish straight. Still holding his own then. Final podium step. Ooh, goes a tiny bit deep through there. Gr3 closes up again. Get down to 1/4 of a second then as they come down towards this final turn. Carries a little bit of extra speed out of there. Does P1 Obi-Wan. Is it going to be enough to defend into turn 1? Gr3 already looks like he's closing up. Trying to tuck himself into that slipstream. Is it going to be enough? Can he carry the speed around the outside into turn 1? Don't think he can. Obi-Wan goes a little bit deep on the exit. Where's he gone? Gr3, I don't think he's in any position to make a move through there, so Obi-Wan holds onto it again for another lap. There's a good bit of driving here between these two. They are closing that gap slowly on Fat Pickles in front. It is down to 2 seconds. And they're not pulling any more time back on first place Bobby. Say that he's just had to get himself past Ace Killer, loses a little bit of time. Ace Killer puts himself in the wall though, unfortunately. So yes, 7.8 seconds Bobby with the lead. Fat Pickles another 2.2 seconds over Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan again under threat from Gr3 for that 3rd place. Let's get ourselves on board with a 4th place man this time, looking at the back end of Obi-Wan's car. Again, just doesn't quite have the legs to make a move on that Hyundai. It is full tuning on these as well, so everybody can adjust their cars as they like. Again, nowhere to go for Gecko. And if he hasn't got the legs to get Obi-Wan down the start-finish straight, it's going to be very difficult. Although he's closed the gap up, it's going to be very difficult to get past him, I think. Unless he goes for a late lunge into the hairpin or something like that. Just got to try and get past Ace Killer cleanly enough as well. Trying to stay out of the way, Ace Killer. He's gone a little bit too far off track though. So again, nothing in it between these two. Just 0.3 of a second. Obi-Wan holding that 3rd position. Gr3 using the slipstream if he can. Again, closing up. Looks a little bit closer this time. Is it going to be enough? Obi-Wan's going to make him run around the outside again here. Oh, can he carry the speed through? He's just got himself in front. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Obi-Wan doesn't yield. Fair. Side by side through there as well. Obi-Wan, fantastic bit of driving. Holds on to that third place. That was a great bit of side by side action through turns 3 and through turns 2 and 3. Obi-Wan holding his own then. Lap 26 of 28. I don't want to take the camera off this. Bobby then still 7.6 second lead over Fat Pickles. That's enough for you, Bob. Fat Pickles still got plenty of time over P1, Obi-Wan and Gecko. That gap at 2.6 seconds at the minute. Obi-Wan then still holding his own. He's managed to pull half a second around that final turn. That's going to put Gecko Racer out of contention from attacking to turn 1. Dynamic Styles up into 5th. TRG Aldo in 6th. Pottermore Potts had a bit of a mare somewhere. He's dropped a couple of positions. He's now down in 7th. Philo in 8th. Almost out of fuel as well. Brinky in 9th position, just 1.2 seconds back from Philo. Another 6 seconds back to V-Show in 10th. G Marge is another 1.7 seconds back in 11th. There's a big old gap back to Purzel, then 17 seconds back to the 12th place man. Jambu is another 1.9 seconds back from him. And unfortunately Ace Killer been in the pits for a second set of tyres here. Just about to get lapped by race leader RAA Bobby. Still on here then, coming into this final lap. Just 0.3 of a second in it between Obi-Wan and Gecko Racer. Again, closes up as they head down towards turn 1. Goes defensive again, does Obi-Wan. RAA Gecko Racer again trying to run it around the outside. Has he managed to get far enough in front this time? I think he has. Just holds on to 3rd then. Last chance saloon for P1 Obi-Wan to get that position back. He's got a chance down into the hairpin, or it's a drag race to the line. All over the back end of Gecko Racer still then. If he can get a good exit out of this final turn, it could be on back here for the final podium position. We'll just jump back up to RAA Bobby, who's coming through to take the race win. Comfortably as well, 7.6 seconds at the end. First place for Bob then, Fat Pickles, great race for him. He's held his own for 2nd. Gecko Racer has made his way past. Oh, it's going to be to the line. 100ths in it, that's it. Obi-Wan and Gecko Racer literally were battling it out to the line. Fantastic bit of racing there, boys. Dynamic Styles takes 5th then. Aldo takes 6th. Potter, after that little mistake, takes 7th. V-Show comes home 8th. G-Marge takes 9th. Philo comes home 10th. Brinky is going to take 11th. Jambu is going to come home for 12th. Purzel right behind him for 13th. And Ace Killer has already crossed the line for 14th. So that was race 2, done and done. Some great racing there. Potter taking the win in race 1. Bobby taking the win in race 2. I'm sure you'll see nothing but that was a great race. Loved it. Great race. Yeah, teeny bits of contact, but it is racing. You expect that. I've not seen anything malicious at all tonight. It's been really clean, plenty of respect given. That's what we want, some nice, clean racing. So there it is, round 2 of the Team Oliver Racing Gr3 League done and dusted. Back same time, same place next week, 8:30 on Wednesday night. I myself am back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock for the P1 Boys and the Audi TT Series. I'm back Friday night as well for the MRC's GTTCC, covering the Fusion League in that one. So that's pretty much like the Premier League of football. Well, in the UK at least. Cheers, Rick. Yeah, it was a good race. I thought it was a good race. Yes, so back Friday night for the MRC's GTTCC. Monday night, 8:30 for the Chewit Racing Mini Cooper Cup. And then, yes, same time, same place next week for round 3 of this. No problem. Fat pickles, bro. No problem. So, yes, that's it for tonight's racing. I hope you've liked what you watched. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mates. Tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Rick.